So this is probably less than, what do you say, 20 minutes, half an hour? And we're just pretty much taking our time. See? So I'm gonna scrape all this stuff off, maybe seal it up. See how wet that is right there? That's wet. So this is the last quarter, and this is the part that doesn't have that's not that wet. But maybe go around there and see what that looks like compared to that. This is how it's going. This is pretty much going to be the hardest part. It took us less than an hour, 3 of us. We pretty much just scraped it with the probably 40 minutes. Scraped it with the shovel, the flat one. We did make a couple of holes a little bit smaller, but I'm gonna just seal them up from the inside, like get like aluminum sheets and just glue it on, seal it up. And I'm gonna be doing a major seal on the outside, so don't worry about that. But this, I just have to clean up this, see what we're working with, and just scrape the rest off. It wasn't that hard, but if you're doing it, you have to take your time. Your blood pressure, your heart rate goes up, so you have to take your time. Don't rush it. Take breaks. And yeah, so this is the physically hard part, and now this part you got to start measuring all that. So once we clean this up, we're gonna examine, decide what we're gonna do, what we're gonna buy, how we're gonna do that, and then go from there. We didn't decide yet. I didn't buy anything. We're gonna see what we need to what we have and go from there. We'll for sure buy the wood. We're gonna get some sealant. I have the tape, the aluminum. We removed it from here. There's a strip that was going across here, so I don't know if we could use that or just buy a new one, depending on how cheap it is, and then go from there. But right now we're going to clean this up and then examine everything before I start measuring. I have to be in the right state to make sure I make my diagram and measure everything perfectly so everything fits. I think what I have to do is just tear it out and push the wood back in. Hopefully there's enough space down here to do it. So let's see what we got. Woo-wee! Look at this. Like you said, a half an inch. Is it really? You said a half inch?
That's thinner than half inch.
Yeah, this is thinner than half inch. Crazy. So this is like nothing. And then there's styrofoam down here. It's in between. Like, I'm gonna take this off and then get back to it. So here's an aftermath. Let me give you a little update on what we're gonna do. Because we don't want to go too depth into rebuilding the whole thing, we're just gonna do partial. So this foam that they have right here is a different one than what they had here. So this one is more, okay, let me break it down. The frame, this whole cover frame is pretty much doesn't have any wood at all. The only wood that was there was some thin ass piece of wood, which we're gonna put a plywood on top, very thin, but there was no really much frame. There was a frame right here that was metal over the styrofoam. So we realized that it was the frame, which is metal, things like that. That's pretty much the frame of it. There's no wood. We realized that things like this is not needed. You don't want to make the cover too heavy. I know a lot of people are changing the frame into real solid wood. I don't think it's necessary. And we didn't want to move this around, so we just took the stuff behind, and then we're just gonna stuff it in with the thin wood. I think these sides, this side was not really damaged that much, so we just wanted to keep it simple. And the way we determined that was this piece of wood. This is how it was, and this is very hard to find at Home Depot, so we're gonna hope this is it right here. We're gonna hope that we could figure out something without this. So this is the curb. So we're gonna see what we could do. It goes underneath, and all of this was all soaking wet, but these weren't. So we determined this wall isn't bad. So this is how it looks with the foam, and then it has pretty much the frame. So we put it out in the sun to dry out. We're gonna clean it up, and then we're just gonna put the wood, thin wood, underneath, and just put everything back. It's unnecessary. The major thing was this: we took out all the foam. It was soaking wet. Now we have it in the sun. We do have. Actually, I shouldn't be stepping on this, but I mean on the driveway there could be some underneath. But we have holes like that. We also have like line holes right there, like you could see, and these are things I didn't even really see. And I know there's a lot in the corner, like that's where the awning goes, so that's gonna have to be sealed. And then and this is the part that had that thing on top. And then where's the open one? There's an open one right there, and then it must be. And then there's so many of these. I have to mark all of these. I have to mark all of them so I could identify. Oh, here is where I took it off this morning. So there are the two holes. So that's the two holes. And this is the one that was sealed up with silicone. So clearly water was getting through that. And that's the other one. So I think we did a great job. We just have to seal up. I'm not sure how I'm going to seal those up. If you guys suggest anything, let me know. But I like practically holes. And yeah, so I'm just going to let it dry out in the sun. I'll probably come back out if I really want to. After figuring out what I'm going to do with the holes, I seal this up. I got flexi stuff so I could put a seal on it. But this part was the hardest, but it was the easiest. That has a little more water damage, but we're just gonna work with it and leave that how that is. This is just a way that I'm showing that a person like me that don't really know how to rebuild stuff could do. You could just do it this way. It's partially, not fully, but I mean, and it's so lightweight now. Like my husband and I, my two kids, boys, brought it. There's a camper. We brought it from over here. It was so heavy, like so heavy. Now my husband and I could both lift it, just two of us. So I'm happy with that. We bought mainly everything that we need. So we were gonna put like a frame, a wood frame going down, but I think we're just gonna stick to how it was. Basically, it was a styrofoam, and then it had a steel frame going across. I'll let you guys see it. I'm gonna use it. I'll probably clean it up and reuse it. Everything was glued down. These are things you have to understand. It wasn't that solid, these covers. It just needs a certain kind of frame to hold it up. But it's not that complicated, although I thought it was. It's not that complicated because it's lightweight. They find ways to do things lightweight. So I think we're gonna stick to how it was. Pretty much a whole thing is gonna go down here. I'll cut it to fit, but I'm not gonna I was gonna put a wood frame around so I could hang stuff, but it's not needed. I'm not gonna do that. This camper is really small. It's supposed to be lightweight, so I'm gonna bring it back to that. I think we did a great job cleaning it. I'm not sure if it has to be cleaned anymore because this is gonna be glued on, so we'll see. And yeah, so it's just gonna dry out a little bit, dry out as much as it can. Hopefully it dries out a good enough amount. And maybe tomorrow I will have a plan. It shouldn't take long to do. It's just put the wood back in there, put the brackets back in there, and the same for here. That shouldn't take long. And then after we figure out what I'm going to do with the holes, and then put the foam back, glue it down, and glue the strip down, and then maybe if I make it sit for the next day, and then the next day I could flip it, put it back on the camper, and then figure out sealing it, like the flexi seal and all that. Shouldn't take long. It's not that hard to do because we didn't take off everything. So taking this off, this is the opposite side of the door.